Hello everyone! I was planning on doing a pre-recorded video on this topic and I decided we're just gonna go live. So, I don't feel like editing a video. I don't feel like doing any of that. So what happens, happens, and that is that. So we have been focusing a lot on mindset and comparison and all these different things that have kind of gone and gotten pushed to the back burner. But these are such important things that I feel like it's too important for us to not talk about. So I did a little research amongst the Black status leaders, and I have some stats for you. But before we dive into like the stats of everyone's journey and everything, I wanted to talk to you guys about why you can't compare. You guys know this. This is not new information. You cannot compare yourself. As a person, as a mom, as a wife, as anything, you cannot compare yourself. But I feel like when you've got this many women around you, it's human nature to compare yourself. We do it all the time, but like I talked about the other day, it's about how quickly you can turn yourself back around and rein yourself back in and be like, okay, no, stop. We're not doing this. So I posted earlier that your journey to Black status started the day you were born. And that may confuse a lot of people because you're like, I don't know about that one, Megan. But everything that you have done your entire life is leading up to you hitting Black status. If that's what you want. I mean, if that's not what you want, then that's fine. But if Black status and hitting the top of the company, if wall of influence is your goal, if BS1, BS2, BS3, whatever comes next, if that is your goal, this has been in the process for years and years and years since the day you were born. Everything that you have experienced, everything you have overcome, everything that you have gone through has led you up to this point and will continue to lead you up to that point. So when you see someone like Angela Callisto that I shared earlier, hit Black status in what? 2 months? She hit Black in 2 months. That's not normal, but you don't know what went into that leading up to the point that she joined. Yeah, from the outside, it looks like it only took her from June to August to hit the top of the company, but she had been busting her butt for 20 freaking years to get to that point. And everything that she had experienced and gone through up until that point was leading up to the leader and the relationship that she had built with everyone to get to that point. So when I talk about my journey, from the outside, people will think you got lucky. You got in early, you scored some really good rock stars, and you just got lucky. No, we worked our butts off to get there. And I sat at Green for 9 months. It took me 17 months to get to the top, which in the grand scheme of things, that's pretty good. But everything that I went to in my entire life led up to this point. If I had hit Black at a year like I wanted to, I wouldn't have been the leader that I needed to be. I wouldn't have requalified, probably. If I had hit it on my 1 year anniversary, like in my head I wanted to, I wouldn't have been where I needed to be the best leader I needed to be. So we get these time frames and these schemes in our head where we have to hit it by X date. We have to hit it by this or else we're a total failure. And that's not the case at all. You cannot think like that. If it happens, it happens. Everything that you are going through, everything that you are putting into your business right now is leading up to that point. And it will happen when it's meant to happen. So get that notion out of your head that you have to hit it by X date or else the whole world's going to crumble, because that's not how it goes. And when you're meant to hit Black, you will hit Black. When you're meant to hit Green, you will hit Green. Yeah, you can put a lot of work into it, but when it's meant to happen, it's going to happen, okay? It's like the earth, the moon, and the stars all align, and you're finally at the leadership level that you need to be in order to achieve that goal. So when I struggled to build elites, the first thing that came to my head was, well, Kylie joined a month before me and she's already Black. What am I doing? What am I lacking that is holding me back? Why am I not good? Why am I not as good as her? Why am I stuck here? So you start thinking of all these things. Why am I not enough? Why am I not good enough? And you can't compare yourself. I was wrong to compare myself because we had different personalities. We had different starting points. We had a different life when we joined, okay? She had a full month ahead of me. She was more outgoing than me. She was more confident. I wasn't there yet. My confidence was still beginning to come out. I was still trying to figure out who I was and what worked for me. So she had a head start. It doesn't mean that I sucked. It doesn't mean that I'm less of a leader. I just needed more time to marinate and I needed more time to grow. And when my time was right, it happened. And so when a lot of you guys start along the same time frame as other people, you automatically think that they're on your level, that your starting point is the exact same, so you guys are on the same exact page. You don't know what they went through leading up to that. You don't know if they had direct sales experience. You don't know how many Facebook friends they have. You don't know if they owned another business beforehand where they had a large network of people off of Facebook. You don't know what they are coming into. So what looks like their chapter 1 may actually be their chapter 20. You don't know what happened in someone else's life leading up to where you are now. So if you are going to compare yourself, you have to actually know the full story. You have to see the big picture. You have to see the entire picture of where they are in their life. So for example, I joined 3 days before Karen Newton. She hit black in like 9 months maybe, I think. It took me 17. I joined 3 days before her. How in the world did that happen? How did she hit black? What is that? 8 months before me? Because she had a different starting point. We may have started within 3 days of each other, but she had a business beforehand. She had personal experience in direct sales. She had a customer base just from her consignment shop. So you can't compare things like that. Let's see. You just can't compare. Moral of the story is you can't compare, and you have to be able to ring yourself back in and just get yourself to take a step back and realize that when you're meant to hit it, you're going to hit it. So I joined June 1st, 2014. I had no network marketing experience. It took me 3 months to hit green, and it took me 17 months to hit black. Brittany Kaplan, she had some experience. She joined in 2013, and it took her until November of 2015 to hit black. So she started before me, but then we hit the same month. That doesn't mean that I'm better than her. That doesn't mean that I had more experience than her. She actually had the experience. I didn't. It's all about timing. And when it's meant to happen, it'll happen. I forget. Oh, this is Angela Callisto. Joined June 15th of 2014 with no direct sales experience. Hit purple and black in August of 2014. She worked up until that point. Even though she hit it in 2 months, it had been leading up to that point. So no, she really didn't just hit it in 2 months. Technically, she hit it in 2 months, but her entire life had been building up to that point. Lauren Brooks joined July 2014. Took her 16 months to hit black with no direct sales experience. Okay? Melissa Salomon, she joined a month before me, and we actually met in a mom's group shortly after I joined. She had no experience, just like me, and she hit black in February of 2015. So here we go. People that I started with and I was running with along the entire beginning of my thing, they were hitting before me. So your first initial reaction is, wow, I suck. Wow, I'm not cut out for this. I must be doing something wrong. And that is the wrong type of thinking. And if you take anything away from this video today, I want you to realize that your mindset is the only thing that you can control. You can't control whether people join your team. You can't control if people purchase when they say they're going to purchase. You can't control if the girls that actually join your team are actually going to work the business. You can't control that stuff. What you can control is right up here. So the sooner that you learn how to get your mindset in check, the easier it is going to be for you to realize that you are on your own journey, and you are on your own journey for a reason. So, Brianne Kerr joined June 2014. It took her 8 months to hit black with no direct sales experience. So you're seeing a common thing. It doesn't matter if you have experience or not. You're going to hit, these girls are hitting black with and without experience. It's all about the journey and the time frame, and you have to be willing and coachable to learn along the way. I guarantee that half of these girls didn't know what they were doing, or they probably didn't know what they were doing. They learned along the way. And I will get to questions afterwards. I'll kind of go back and scroll through. Jenny Burns, she joined December 2013. I just met her at Black Status Retreat, and I absolutely love her. Love, love, love her. She was just like a ball of sunshine. So she joined December 2013, and she hit black in April of 2016. So that's not 3 years, less than 3 years. I don't know the exact months here. I don't feel like counting. She had experience. She had experience, leadership experience in another company. And it took her from December 2013 to 2016. It doesn't mean that she was less of a leader. It was just the timing and the breakdown of how her journey was meant to happen. It happens when it is meant to happen. And let's see. Oh, I'm trying to think of who this last one was. I think this was Tracy Green. I didn't write a name down, but I think this one's Tracy. May 2015, and she hit black in 21 months. Oh, no, this is Tia Lucart. Sorry. She joined May 2014, and she hit black in 21 months. She had experience. It was experience in a different type of direct sales company, but she had experience. And it took her 21 months. So it doesn't matter if you have experience or not. It doesn't matter when you started. All that matters is your thinking up here and your ability and willingness to hustle and learn and to be coached. So I want you guys to give yourself permission to not care about when it happens, and just know that it is going to happen. I always tell people, it's not if. It's not if I hit black. It's when you hit black. You will hit black. It's not if, it's when. And we don't know that time frame. We don't know when it's going to happen. We may say that we want it to happen at this date in this month, and we can shoot for that, but you can't beat yourself up if it doesn't. You can't get down on yourself if it doesn't happen when we want it to. I want you guys to have goals, and I want you to push, and I want you to be driven towards an end result. But I don't want you guys to like fall into a depression or get discouraged because you feel like you're less of anything because of it. It's a goal, but sometimes you have to reevaluate goals. Sometimes if you're getting closer to it and it's not looking like it's going to happen at that time, take a step back and think, okay, was this realistic? Given the amount of time and energy that I want to put into my business, is hitting black status by X date realistic? Because a lot of times it's not. You can't say that you want to work 1 hour a day and hit black in 5 months. That's not realistic. So you have to make sure that the amount of energy you're willing to put into your business is in alignment with your goals. So if you're only wanting to work 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, then it may take you a little bit longer. I was willing to sacrifice. I was willing to put in the work that I needed to do to get to black as fast as possible. And even given that, it still took me time. It still took me longer than my 1 year mark. And that's okay, because once I did hit black, I maintained black. And I would rather take longer and maintain every single month than hit super quick and not be able to maintain that. That's just me. I don't ever want to go backwards. In hindsight, I would rather it take me longer, knowing that I was going to be consistent and it was going to be something that I was going to be able to keep up with. So even though in your head you may want a certain status, I'd rather you guys work towards maintenance of that status versus just the title. Because what good is the title if you're not getting paid as that title? We're here to change your lives. We're here to give you financial freedom. We're here to help your teams change their lives. What good is it to have a charm next to your name if you're not going to be paid as that status and continue to grow forward from that status? So even if you have to sit at green or orange for X amount, I want you guys to focus on maintaining it. Okay? That is the biggest thing, is I want you guys to be able to maintain for longevity. I want us to clear our heads of what we think our time frame is and focus on consistency. Focus on maintenance. Because with maintenance comes growth. If you are able to consistently maintain and continue to bring people in and train them to do the same thing, you're going to grow. It's inevitable that you're going to continue to grow, and your business is going to be able to grow consistently along with you. But a lot of people, they will recruit someone who's amazing and a rock star and makes up a good portion of their business, and then they stop. They don't think that they have to work anymore. And they just kind of put all their eggs in one basket. And then when that person shoots up through the company, they're left with nothing. You continually want to be expanding your business wide for maintenance. You want to be able to maintain and grow consistently wide and deep. So that is what I have to say on comparison, because if you're not right up here, you're going to fall into the comparison trap. It's inevitable. And if you get sucked into that quicksand, it is going to take you down. It is going to kill your business so fast. It is going to kill your mindset so fast. I mean, we're not just talking business. When you're comparing yourself to another human being, you are telling yourself that you're not enough. You are not this. You are not that. You are never going to be that. You're going to start to believe it. This goes back to everything else that we have talked about this week. Everything that happens up here, you eventually begin to believe it, and you fill in the blanks to go along with it. So when you start comparing yourself in your business, that's going to trickle down into your life outside of your business. That's going to trickle down into your friendships. That's going to trickle down into your team. That's going to trickle down into your kids. I don't want to get emotional. I don't want to cry, guys. I don't want to cry. But a lot of times I think about the negative self-talk that I tell myself. Would you want your kids to feel that way about themselves? Like, a lot of times I think that maybe it's a blessing that I don't have a daughter, because I would never want her to feel about herself the way I feel about myself. And I'm working on that, and it's a growth process. But when you have a negative mindset and you are comparing yourself in every facet of your life, in your business, that's going to trickle down into how your children think of themselves, how your nieces and nephews think of themselves. Maybe you babysit kids. That's going to come off on them. Like, how do you think kids learn these things? From us. And that makes me really sad to know that my way of thinking and my deranged brain, in the way that I look at my body and the way that I disrespect myself by the way I talk up here, is trickling down into the next generation to come. And I feel like if you can get a hold of your mindset now, think of the impact in the long run on society. Think of if you are so confident in yourself and what you're capable of doing that you don't care if you're like the rest. You don't care if you're like Joe Schmo next door. You don't care if you're like your sponsor. You just are comfortable in your own skin and who you are. That's going to change society in generations to come. This is more than just your business. This is more than just your life. This is about a trickle-down effect in society, and you have the opportunity to impact that. So, comparison is going to kill. It's going to kill something in your life. It's going to kill your business. And I want you guys to be super aware of the things that you are thinking consciously and subconsciously in your head. A lot of the things that we say to ourselves without even speaking are the most powerful ones. For example, you are working out really hard and you're trying to lose weight, and you look at that chocolate cake and you're like, in your head you're like, you don't need that, you're fat. These are real things that have gone on in my life that like I hear in my head sometimes. You don't need that, you're fat. You don't even have to physically say the words, but they're happening up here. And that's more powerful than anything that comes out of your mouth. So I want you guys to really check yourself when you hear these things coming, and become very, very aware of how you're looking at yourself in comparison to other people. Because you are you, and no one can compare to who you are. That's one of the amazing things, is there's no other person on this planet that is just like you. So embrace the things that make you you. Embrace the things, your quirks. Embrace your strengths, but also be willing to work on your weaknesses. And don't look at your weaknesses as something that is making you less of a human being, or less of a leader, less of a mentor, less of a mom, less of a wife. I want you guys to really, really focus on what's going on up here. Like, you're going to hear me drilling this into your head this month. Mindset, 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 and mindset. Because until we get your mindset in check, I don't know that we can continue to grow. Because that mindset is holding so many of you back. And I feel like we need to figure this out now. We need to nip this in the bud right now. If you are going to continue to grow and flourish and maintain your statuses and continue to grow past those statuses, we have to get your mindset in check. And it all has to start with you. It has to start right here, right now, today, in your own head. So I can't want it for you. I can't change your mindset for you, but I can give you the information, and I can continually, every single day, drill into your brain why the way you're thinking is completely bogus. And if I have to hop on here every single day to tell you guys that you're enough, and to tell you that there's no need to compare to the person next door, if I have to, I will. You know that? Because I've been on the negative mindset aspect. I am so much stronger because of where my head is. And I know that if we're going to continue to have you guys promote to yellow, promote to pink, promote to blue, promote to green, we've got to get what's going on up here out of the way. Because you're in your own way right now, and you're holding yourself back. So I will take questions if you want me to. I will be uploading this on YouTube if you guys want to share it with any of your teams. Maybe they're not in here. Maybe you want to make sure that they see it. I'll be sharing it on YouTube. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. I know I missed one up top. I think it was from Maddie. So Maddie, if you wanna ask it again, I'll. Oh goodness. Yes, I love this bracelet. It's just from H&M. I got that when I went out to Unified in Utah. We did lots of shopping. I had never been to H&M before, and I found all kinds of stuff at H&M. I love it. Some good mindset books. Oh, Lord have mercy. If you really want to understand how the brain works, which is a really good foundation, like, you can't really understand what's going on in your head until you understand, like, the actual, like, ins and outs of the brain. So let me grab this one real quick. When I was when I was working on my presentation for the Canada training, I actually bought this book. It's called Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, How We Can Learn to Fulfill Our Potential. And I actually listened to the audio version when I was running one day. And man, I ran for almost an hour, which never happens. Like, I was running outside. So, I mean, I took every road possible. And I was just so amazed by, you're blinded by my highlight. I was so amazed at how the brain actually functions and how it works and all the ins and outs and the nooks and crannies of the brain. So I absolutely highly recommend this. She actually has like an entire website. She has a PhD and everything. So it was just super fascinating. But if you're not interested in if you're not interested in like the ins and outs of how the brain works, but you just need some mindset, You Are a Badass is an amazing book. That is probably one of like my top books to get your mindset in check. And she, if I remember correctly, she cusses a lot in there, but it's really good. That may have been a different book where she cusses a lot, but it's really good. I really love it. And then the 10 times rule talks about like putting forth 10 times the energy to achieve the results that you're looking for. So it has a lot of different mindset stuff in there. I have so many books, guys. I love Girl Code. Girl Code is one that I really, really love. And I actually used to send this to my new recruits just because I feel like it spoke to my soul. It just did so much for me. And I really loved the way it looked. So like the chapters are, The Secret's Out, There's Enough for All of Us, Trust Your Own Brilliance, The Power of Connection, The F Word, Shake It Off, Dealing with Haters, Copycats, and the Peanut Gallery. It's good. It is a lot of stuff that we deal with on a daily basis. When I was coming back from Unified, I actually picked this up in the little bookshop, and I really, really, really like it. And I love that it is directed more so at women and how we function and how we think and we process and all that stuff. So it's 9 habits to make you happier, healthier, and more resilient. So I really like that one. I mean, I just love to read. Like, before Younique, I cannot tell you the last time I had actually read a book. I'm actually thinking that the last book that I had read before Younique was 50 Shades of Grey. I think that's like the extent of my reading. And that's just because I was just like, is this really happening? So I was never a reader, but there is something so fulfilling from working on personal development once you get into a habit of it. If you only have 5 minutes to spare, take those 5 minutes to read something that is going to fill your soul. Do something. Listen to something. Do anything at all, even if it's just for 5 minutes a day. But make it a consistent habit, because when I slack on my personal development, I can tell in my life. But honestly, my focus this month, of all months, is to get your mindset back on check. Because I've seen it take people down. And it'll take you out like a plague. It'll affect you. It'll affect the people around you. It'll affect your team. Why do you think when people leave the company, their teams fizzle out with them? Because it is contagious. A negative mindset and a negative attitude is so, so contagious. Alrighty, ladies, if you have any more questions, feel free to let me know. Shut up. My inboxes are always open. I might not get to it right away, but it's open and I will eventually get to your question. And I'm here to help you guys any way that I can.